Right now, people you'll never meet can nudge what you see, what you buy, and sometimes what you believe. No cloak, no dagger, just closed rooms, closed groups, and closed algorithms. If power hides in plain sight, how much of your life is quietly steered by hands you can't see? In this episode, we ask a question that's as old as rumor and as modern as your feed. Do secret societies control your life? We're not only talking Freemasons and skull and bones mythos. We're talking about any system where power is coordinated in the shadows, invitation-only clubs and alumni networks, family offices and private foundations, encrypted group chats and donor consortia, lobby coalitions, standards committees and black box algorithms. Some wear ritual rings, others wear hoodies, different uniforms, same strategic advantage, opacity. Our aim isn't to flatly accuse or to absolve. It's to map how hidden networks historically formed, how they operate now, who gains, who loses, and whether the invisible hand is a puppet master, or just the way complex societies actually function. Welcome to Parallel, a mix of storytelling and thought-provoking what-if scenarios, combining narrative fiction and analysis that includes real-world science, philosophy, and potential real-world implications. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment so that you do not miss out on the next episode. Because, one reality, says T-Boom, is never enough.
I'm still quite confused. I received a note, it had been posted through my door. There was a time and a place, it was typed, not handwritten. Nothing else. No monogram. No signature. The paper was good paper, that's something I do know. As a journalist, I know good writing paper when I see it. It never said who it was from though, and that's what's bothering me. I get tips all the time. Anonymous messages, emails from throwaway email addresses. I used to get letters and notes stuffed through my door, not so much now with the advent of doorbell cameras. This one was put through my door, in an envelope that matched the note paper in quality. But the doorbell camera didn't even activate. I know I will end up going to it though. Curiosity will get the better of me. Still, whatever would someone, who uses note paper of this quality, want with a local journalist? Probably some wealthy guy who wants to go all not in my backyard, and use me to complain about another 5G communications mast going up in the neighborhood. Not very newsworthy, still, might get a nice cup of tea and some quality biscuits out of the old duffer.
Let's look at some of the history of where secret power came from. Secret societies are as old as exclusion, ancient and mystical. The Pythagoreans, mystery cults, and medieval guilds mixed spiritual rites with practical power, monopolizing knowledge, mathematics, metallurgy, navigation, and using ritual as a gate. Early modern networks. The Freemasons blended fraternity with influence, offering parallel channels for advancement outside rigid aristocracies. Enlightenment salons did something similar, just with better wigs. Revolution and resistance. The Carbonari in Italy, clandestine cells in occupied Europe, anti-colonial circles from Dublin to Delhi. Secrecy can topple empires, or replace them. Elite pipeline clubs, university lodges and debating societies became soft engines of patronage. Not illegal, often not even sinister, just decisive when careers hinge on whispers and recommendations. The through line isn't sorcery, it's coordination under cover, shared identity, trust signals, selective access, and information advantages. From the famous to the obscure. The Freemasons. A centuries-old fraternal order, the National Grand Lodge was formalized in 1717 with rituals, degrees, and global lodges. Why people care. Long history plus mysterious symbols equals a magnet for intrigue. What's public? Massive literature, however, it's not clandestine governance. The Illuminati. Bavarian. Historical. founded in 1776 by Adam Weishaupt and suppressed by the 1780s. Why People Care, Short Life, Huge Myth, became a container for hidden rulers. What's public? It existed, although the modern all-powerful Illuminati is more folklore than truth. Skull Bones in Yale, undergraduate senior society founded in 1832 with a long line of elite alumni. Why People Care? Multiple U.S. presidents and power brokers were members. What's public? Its very existence, the Tomb Clubhouse, and the notable alumni lists. The Bilderberg meetings, approximately 130, invite-only government, business, media, and academic figures meet annually since 1954 under Chatham House rules. Why People Care? Off-the-record dialogue among top transatlantic elites. What's public? Dates, themes, and partial attendee lists on its site. Bohemian Grove, also known as the Bohemian Club. This is a private midsummer encampment in California redwoods for influential men and famous for the theatrical cremation of care. Why People Care? Exclusivity, rituals, and guest lists of political and industry leaders. What's public? Club history and the ritual's existence. Le Siècle in France, a monthly elite dinner club in Paris, bringing together politicians, CEOs, editors, and cultural figures across parties. Why People Care? A who's who room that has included many cabinet-level figures. What's public? Membership rosters and controversies have been reported. The Fabian Society in the United Kingdom, a democratic socialist membership society and think tank founded in 1884, advocating gradualist reform over revolution that has been historically influential in shaping British social policy and the labour movement. Why People Care? Its pamphlets, research, and networks have long nudged mainstream policy, for example, with its ties to early labour and the welfare state tradition. What's public? Open membership, publications, conferences, extensive archives. Not a secret society, but an influential ideas and access hub. And just to add a calibration note, presence is not equal to conspiracy. Many of these are private or semi-private forums. Some publish attendee lists and topics, others don't. The common thread is selective access, not proof of omnipotence. What's happening now and how is it different to the past? Today's lodges don't need temples. They have platforms, protocols, and private capital, encrypted micro-cabals, invite-only signal, WhatsApp groups, Slack workspaces, and private forums where investors, influencers, and policymakers swap early intel. No minutes, but lots of directional consensus. Think tanks and philanthropy. Foundations fund research agendas and best practices that set the Overton window. Sometimes they do genuine good. Sometimes they define the question so tightly that only one answer fits. Lobby coalitions and trade associations. Not a smoky backroom, but a spreadsheet of meetings, comment letters, and draft language that pre-formats lawmaking. Standards bodies and technical committees. The rulebook for the modern world, payments, chips, 5G, AI, is often written by small rooms of specialists. Public? Yes. Accessible? Not really. Data brokers and algorithms. Quiet dossiers shape advertising pricing, risk scores, and hiring screens. The who sees what layer is an invisible editor of reality. Elite social graphs. Alumni rings, founder mafias, and donor networks accelerate some people's failures into second chances while letting others fail invisibly once. None of this requires a grand conspiracy. It just requires repeated interactions among the same people, in spaces that curate who gets to be in the room. Who benefits from these societies and clubs? Insiders and intermediaries. People fluent in these rooms monetize access. Lobbyists, fixers, connectors, and strategic communications pros. They turn information asymmetry into invoiceable advantage. Large incumbents. An army of compliance lawyers can turn complicated rules into barriers to entry. Complexity isn't neutral, it's a moat. Politicians and regulators. Off-the-record consensus lowers career risk. If stakeholders already agree, a leader looks prudent for blessing it. Technocrats and standard setters. With little fanfare, they lock in defaults that billions will live with. That power can be used for safety and interoperability, or for capture. But there are real public benefits too. Crisis coordination. Closed, high-trust networks can move faster than public processes when it matters. Cybersecurity patches, credit backstops, supply chain triage. Pre-competitive alignment. Standards keep planes flying and packets flowing. Not all secrecy is sinister. Some is prudence and intellectual property protection. What about the overall societal impact these perceived elite clubs have? Opacity equals suspicion. When outcomes are decided upstream, trust erodes downstream. People fill the gaps with myths because facts are scarce and the process feels unfair. Self-reinforcing elites. Access begets access. If you're not already networked, you live under rules you didn't write and narratives you didn't choose. Narrative capture. Media fragmentation plus PR discipline means a few well-placed talking points can taint a whole week's news cycle. Policy drag. Public consultations can become theater, if the real work happens before drafts are public. Algorithmic governance. Black box decisions, credit, bail, visibility, pricing, shift power from elected institutions to private models. When the model is wrong, who appeals? Conspiracy feedback loops. Ironically, genuine small-room coordination feeds grand conspiracies. The result? Polarization, fatalism, and a market for outrage that drowns out reform. Do secret societies control your life? Not as a single puppet master. There is no flawless, all-seeing cabal scripting your Tuesday. But there are overlapping opaque networks that consistently steer the lanes we all drive in. What gets funded, framed, trialed, regulated, amplified, or memory holed? Control isn't total, it's directional. Not omnipotent, path-dependent. Less like a chess grandmaster and more like a tide. You can swim, but you'll spend energy against currents you didn't choose. What could we do about it? Demand light. Push for beneficial ownership registries, meeting disclosures, lobbying transparency, and independent audits of crucial algorithms. Sunlight isn't a cure-all, but shadows hate it. Diversify rooms. Scholarships, open fellowships, and civic lotteries can widen who gets to be in the room where it happens. Strengthen local civic muscle. Mutual aid, city councils, school boards, small rooms you can actually enter, are the antidote to helplessness. Personal hygiene. Curate your feeds, pause before sharing outrage, and follow the money. You're not powerless. You're a node. The invisible hand isn't a single hand. It's a network of hands, some helpful, some heavy, many unseen. Our task isn't to fear every handshake, it's to see more of them, and to keep enough of our public life in public so that power must speak its name. Thank you so much for listening in to this episode of Parallel. If you have an idea for a future episode, drop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel grow its audience. Until the next episode, remember, one reality is never enough.